Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook process video, and welcome to September of the Year with My Gnomies series. I am glad I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about this series, and I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying it. So thank you for that. I'm going to mention a couple things before I start talking about the layout. So you guys might have noticed I haven't had very many videos up. Well, I took the last couple weeks, and a lot of you know that my son is going off to college, which technically right now he is actually off to college. But I wanted to basically spend as much time as I could with him and just enjoy it. So I have not been in my room making videos. I do have videos ready that just need the voiceover. So hopefully I can get a few of those done now and get back to scrapbooking. I have not done the last couple weeks of the Allison Davis class. I will hopefully get back into that as well. But I do have one layout kind of started. I just, with this whole college thing, with this whole college thing, I just needed a little bit of break, which I'm sure all of you guys will totally understand. And yeah, let me tell you, we dropped him off this last weekend, and this is not easy. So bear with me, guys, and hang in there. The other thing I want to mention really quick is that, yes, I have added ads to my videos. So I don't make videos to really, make it on a design team or to make money. I have links down below that if you guys use, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I thank you for the support. And it is kind of nice to get that little bit of, you know, money for it. I don't know how else to put it, but it's kind of nice because these videos, they are hard. Any YouTuber, you should give them a thumbs up or anything like that, even if you don't really care for the video, just because videos are not easy to do and finding the time can be just insane sometimes. So, but the main reason I put the ads on my videos is every time I would go to find a link for one of my videos to share with somebody, say they were looking for something or a certain video, there was an ad on my video. And I found out that basically, sorry, I got a text from my son. So if he calls or lets me know, I'm going to be distracted a little bit. But basically, I found out that YouTube can add ads to videos and the makers don't get anything from that. So in my opinion, I'm like, well, if they're going to add ads anyway, then I might as well go ahead and put them on there. But the one thing I do not want on my channel is I do not want the mid-roll ads. So like the ad in the middle of the video. And I know when I first added them on there, they were on there. So I do apologize if you got stuck watching one of those. But I will, so let me know, but just basically what I'm asking is just for a little bit of patience while I learn. I believe that I have removed all the mid-roll ads from the videos. It's always possible that I missed one, but I just want to let you guys know that. So I hope that that's okay with you guys. I added the skippable ads. Like I said, I don't think it's fair that YouTube gets money for what I'm creating. I'm obviously they need to make money somehow, but anyways, let's get back to this actual layout now. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and ask. It takes me a little while to get back to respond to all the comments and stuff, but I do try to comment. So with this layout, I will let you know right now, this is going to be the first month that ends up being 2 pages and like 2 single pages for me instead of a double page. You can see right now that I currently have it where the blue paper is set up to the side of the layout because at this point I was planning on doing a double page. But I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done this video. When I go to work on the second page, I'm just not feeling it. And part of it is because I don't have another one of the blue backgrounds. So what I was originally thinking at this point in time was that I would go ahead and do like a mixed kind of double page where, but what I mean by that is that one side would have the blue large background with just a white border, and the other side would have like a large white background with a blue border. But and you will see that coming up here in just a few minutes. I just wanted to sorry, again, I'm getting the text, so I'm getting distracted. It's so curious, like I want to know what he's doing down there, and is he doing okay? And leave me a comment below if you've gone through the whole dropping your kid off at college. And when my daughter moved out, it was so much easier because she's just nearby, and if we wanted to see her for dinner, I mean, she would stop by on a get still, with her moved out. Plus, my daughter's always been very outgoing, so I never really worried about her when it came to making friends and stuff because she would just walk up. I remember when she was like first grade or something, and I said, if you want to make a friend, all you have to do is just walk up and say hi to somebody, and like she literally took that to heart and never was afraid to ever stop and say hi to anybody. So I never had to worry about her as much. And my other son, he's he's just a little quieter. He's still kind of like willing to go up and say hi to people, but he's just quieter about it, So I it's a learning process. And I'm sorry, I'm probably going to talk about it a lot in videos. If you get tired of me talking about it, just say, hey, can you shut up about that already? But it's a whole new experience and stuff like that. So um anyways, so uh let me point out real quick there. Somebody a long time ago asked me how I get the photos underneath the stickers. So I'm not sure if you noticed that I cut apart part of the sticker sheet. And you can do this for any layout anytime. It does not have to be if you're following along with this, but if you make a layout and don't have your photos and you want an element to go over the photos, one of the perfect things to use is part of the sticker sheet. So just cut off the part of the sticker sheet and stick it under whatever part is going over the photo, and then when you put your photo down, it's so much easier to line it up rather than trying to cut around like the shape. So you can see that big sticker sheet part. I do have a video talking a little bit more about that I recorded at the beginning of summer when I first started getting questions about it. I just need to get it edited and uploaded. Like I mentioned, I have quite a few videos. I just haven't got to them. So um, anyways, there is this whole back to school. I put the words school up there, and it's going to be back to school. I don't really know why I chose. I think again it's because I just didn't like the white on blue and the blue on white background. That part you can see here, I'm even putting my little clusters together thinking that I'm going to put the gnomes on the opposite page. But it just you'll see in a minute, I wasn't crazy about that background, the blue to white. It was just too much of a difference. I've seen layouts done where it's opposite colors like that, and I love it when people do that, but here is kind of where it's going to start. And I'm using, since most of it's going to be covered up. Oh, that's also what I was thinking, is that I would use a small part. Now that I remember that, I was thinking I would use a small part of the blue and kind of pull it over so it was like, a little bit of the page and just some leftover white. But you can see where I cut that bottom part of the blue paper, it just kind of wasn't working. And then I went to try to use this pattern paper and I just wasn't feeling any of it. So this is where I told myself, I instead of sitting here and struggling, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and make, a second page. And it works a little better for me because doing a double page with back to school photos, I do take back to school photos, and that's one thing that I'm going to kind of make a little bit of a goal. It was actually going to be my goal for this year. I had tell you guys, I have so many videos. I have my Spend Less, Scrap More series that I know I need to get another one up of. I have two more series that I want to start that I've been thinking about. I need to get those done. There's just been this has been like kind of a chaotic, busy summer. So, uh, and plus I tried to do a lot this summer and take my kid out, and go experience new things. And I still have another kiddo at home. And he's doing online school, so that takes up a lot more time as well. Um, But I do have a bunch of series that I really want to try to get out there and up for you guys. Now here's another little, I dared it. You can see that I kind of gutted this piece, and basically I put the sizes of all the papers that I'm using up on the screen. I did the first page, which is the one with the blue background. The second page is going to have the white background. They both have the same size photo mat. At this point, I was still thinking that I was going to do a double page. So what I was saying, however, though, is the back to school photos, I don't have a ton that I take on the first day. But I do have a couple that I take every time. So I'm kind of, at this point, I was like thinking, you know, like I said, it was going to be a double page, but then I started thinking back to school. I mean, I've got a lot more school photos that aren't necessarily back to school. So I just went ahead and thought about that, and I decided to go ahead and just make it the second page, because that would be, you know, 2 photos for one layout and 2 photos for another layout. Much more doable for a back to school, because I'm thinking first day of school pictures is what I'm thinking for these 2 layouts. So if you want to do something like this, um, I honestly don't know what kind of advice I would give you. Maybe have more of like a white background and spread that blue background, maybe like cut it in half to 6 inches so it can layer both pages. Um, or if you're okay with just having, yeah, maybe just cutting the blue paper in a different way so that it's not a full-on background, unless you don't mind the way that it looks, when you will see here in just a moment. And I'm even going to add this little, I was thinking adding another photo to kind of help cover up that spot and make it a little, you know, you can see here I'm going to play around with the blue paper again, but it's that one part that I cut out that's just throwing me off big time. But I added that one little photo onto that photo mat because I was thinking originally that I would have, it would pull out the little teal color. So in that little journaling box that's on the left hand, or the first page, I'll call it the first page, uh, it has a little bit of a teal background. I didn't care for the teal background of that. So it does say 3x4 in the measurements, but I just trimmed down that so it didn't have nearly as much of the teal background for it, because there's not a lot of that color in there as well. So here's kind of what I'm saying. If you like cut that blue down to 6 inches and spread it across, right there would be a great layout. So you can screenshot that and go off of that. But you can see I'm tapping my fingers. I'm like, this is just not working. So here I thought, well, what if I, you know, did the background, played around with it a little, you know, what am I going to do here? I got rid of the blue, just working around with this. And again, this is another reason if you were to buy, so I bought one, did I buy one? I bought two. No, I bought 2 of the solid color packs, so the blue there, but it just wasn't enough to do everything. And this is the first time, I mean, I mentioned that I struggled a little bit here and there, but this is the first time where it was really an issue. But I believe this is the only layout that I do 2 separate pages. I'm pretty sure it is. I've done the other ones are kind of like they're they can be separate pages, I feel like, but most of them are made to go together. Now this one you could always do and maybe not have the back to school title. If you wanted to make this like a second matching page, you could do it with this one. But if you didn't want to buy a third solid paper pack, then you can always just do 2 separate ones like I'm going to do here. So again, I did put up the measurements for the papers. The measurements are mostly what you can see. Some of mine, like you might have noticed, that apple paper that's at the top, um, sorry, I got a little off key there. It's a little bit larger than what I put on the screen, but what I have is what I can measure. I should have measured as I was doing this, but at the time I was making these layouts, I didn't really know that I was going to be putting the measurements up. That was kind of like, well, you know, since this was such a struggle, maybe it would help you guys if I put the measurements up. So I'm just I'm measuring with what I can see. So I'm doing my best. But also, if you are playing along and don't want to have to struggle with a lot of the papers like I did, then maybe you guys having the measurements of what you can actually see would probably help, is what I was thinking. So this page, again, it's going to have the same title. It's back to school there. This page is going to be a little bit more on the simpler side. I may go back now that I'm looking at the layout and the page. I very well may go back and add like a few like little sequins or something here and there, or a little, you know, enamel dots, things like that. This collection, as far as I know, had nothing like that. No, not even an ephemera pack, but like I said, you really don't need it unless you want to add more to your clusters. Um, so there you can see I actually took off the apple and that little notebook from the first page because I wanted to put it on this page. And then I did hold up the other layout for you to see the little gnomes. What I decided to do was put all the gnomes on one page. So it kind of went together because it had that gnome paper and everything like that. And then this page will have the more generic shapes like the apple and the backpack and the ruler. And I'm going to pretty much, I think, use up everything that's on this sticker sheet except for that word September. I was going to add it, but I don't know. It just wasn't standing out enough to me. And it actually works out because a lot of you, if you've been following this series, you know that I making a little calendar for somebody with my leftovers. So there is a picture and that September works out really good. And you will see it on the pictures for that calendar, which by the way, I still need to get sent off. So couple of photos. This is of the first layout in the back to school and with the Gnomies. I love it. I added some word stickers around. You can kind of screenshot the photo of the two pages. They will go next to each other in an album, like I said, in my opinion, because they complement each other, but they do have the same title unless you have like two kids or I don't know. Maybe they went back to school on the same day. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Again, thanks for hanging in there with me. This is the calendar that I made and the leftover scraps that I have. And I hope to see you guys next video. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.